What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Caleb's Kung Fu Cinema. Obviously, I'm Caleb, and I'm joined once again by my big brother Leon from Hong Kong Beyond. Leon, say hello.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Caleb.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. It's been a little while since we did one of these, and I had actually picked our next installment pretty much right after we did our third one. So this is our fourth installment. But yeah, welcome back to recasting the classics with Leon and Caleb. This is the little mini series we have going where Leon and I take our favorite classic martial arts movies and we cast new actors for all of them. I know usually in the film industry we get a lot of remakes, a lot of legacy sequels and stuff like that. And a lot of times they are a mixed bag, especially if you like for someone like me who is obviously really into a very niche genre of film. Um, but in this day and age, I still like to talk about martial arts movies that I think could use kind of like a refresh for a modern audience, or you know, I've been a really big advocate, as Leon knows, and as some others know. I've been a really big advocate for bringing martial arts movies back to the mainstream, and I do think that we are getting close to that. We got the Furious coming out really soon, which
Mm.
the hype is real for that one, and I do firmly believe that that movie could be what brings martial arts movies back to the forefront. And the reason I picked today's movie, which I'll jump into that in a second, but there's the reason that I picked today's movie. It ties into what I feel is going on right now with the Furious, like with that upcoming movie and everything. But yeah, without any further ado, I'll stop teasing. I'll just go ahead and go ahead and jump into what we're doing today. Yes, Leon and I, episode 4 of recasting the classics. We're going to be covering my favorite Brandon Lee movie. If I remember correctly, Leon said this is his favorite Brandon Lee movie as well, and that is the 1992 film Rapid Fire. Uh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely, yeah, I absolutely love this movie. It means a lot to me. It's really just it's my favorite Brandon Lee movie, like I just said. But in general, it's just one of my favorite action movies. I remember watching this movie on the daily. I would put it in my DVD player all the time. I didn't care how many times I saw it. I loved it every single time. I never get tired of it. It's just one of those movies for me that is just timeless. It's super underrated. But Leon, tell me what you think. I mean, I know you love Rapid Fire, but like, give me a little bit more background on it.
Okay. So, when I first saw Brandon Lee in anything, it was the Kung Fu Returns, like
Yeah.
TV movie with David Carradine. I thought, oh my God, this is a little bit rough. And I was a little bit dubious at that point as to whether or not he was going to be a big star. Thinking, maybe he's not got it. And then I think after that, I got to watch Legacy of Rage, and I was like, "Oh, cool! We can handle the action. This is great." Then I saw Laser Mission. I was like, "Oh, bugger!" I just sold a fortune. I was like, "Hmm." And then Show Little Tokyo. I was like, "Oh, this is good," And then there was a TV program showing Rapid Fire coming to cinema soon. I'm like, "Oh, hell, we got to go and see that." And I think I spoke to my brother at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll go see that." So we went to the cinema, see it. I think it's first time round, and I was just blown away. I thought, "Oh man, this is really what I wanted to see." To me, it was a mix of Jackie Chan style and
Hmm.
also elements of his dad, Bruce, in there. But
Yeah.
more than that, he kind of formulated his own style, and he had his own unique charisma, which really shone through in the character of Jake Lowe. And I think, like you said, I think it's highly underrated, or well, there are fans of it, obviously, but I just think that this is the role where you get to see the human side of Brandon, whereas in The Crow, he's something supernatural. So you don't quite get that in-depth character look that you get in Rapid Fire, where you can see his raw charisma. And
Mm.
yeah, the action that he handled in it, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I'm along there with Caleb. I think this is a classic of the genre. And if a remake of this was to get people to go back and look at this version and then, discover the roots of some of these films, then that would be amazing. Like Caleb said, I think I'm going to have a bit of a renaissance. Obviously, the Furious looks incredible. We've just had Blades of the Guardians, which knocked my socks off. And yeah, let's bring it back, people. That's what me and Caleb are here for. We're going to be directing these films, and they're going to be the best ones you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I could only dream of directing a remake of this.
Oh God.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw Rapid Fire. I came across it on TV. I was just channel surfing. I was with my dad, and we were just channel surfing, and we came across this, and I didn't realize that was Brandon Lee. So we get to it, and my dad stops on it, and it was the fight scene in when Jake is fighting the two FBI agents, like in the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they were trying to kill him in there. It was that scene, and I remember my dad stopped on it, and I was looking at it, and my dad said, "That's Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son." I was like, "Oh." And so I remember like seeing some of that. I was like, "Wow, this is cool." I was like, Brandon was pretty badass. I like this. Obviously with like the unfortunate tragedy of Brandon's passing on the set of The Crow, that whole thing is kind of overshadowed Brandon's prior works, and naturally stuff like that can happen. And so whenever people usually think Brandon Lee, I think a lot of times they think of The Crow. And yeah, Brandon did not want to be known as just an action star. He was very serious about being a dramatic actor. He wanted to show that he was an actor. He wasn't just another action star. That was because there were so many of them. They were a dime a dozen, especially in the late 80s and the early 90s. And and I think that is that's kind of what I wanted to kind of segue into right here before we get into our cast list. The point I wanted to get across here was that, I think if more than anything, Rapid Fire kind of reminds me of it really reminds me of the bygone era of those 90s martial arts movies. And I talked about it before, like when I saw recently when I watched Best of the Best, that I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but when I saw that movie, I loved it, and I thought to myself, damn, I wish we had more stuff like this now. I mean, like look back at when that movie came out, or look back at when Rapid Fire came out, or Showdown in Little Tokyo, or like all those movies Van Damme and Steven Seagal were doing. There were just so many of them. It was such a high in demand thing, and and when you're as big a fan of these kinds of movies as I am, and I know Leon is as well. When you're such a big fan of that genre, it really makes you want to see that again. You don't want to just keep living in the past. As great as the past was, you don't want to keep living in it. You want to see like a new generation take over. And yeah, and I think Rapid Fire just really reminds me of that era. And yeah, I think we need that without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. We love what's been and past, but some new thrills and spills for everybody. We all want it. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. But with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and jump into our cast list. I actually composed this cast list. There are a lot of characters, a lot of really colorful ones in this movie, but I narrowed it down to eight characters, and I think that these are all characters that are integral to the story. And then what we'll do here is I'll start. I'll name my casting choice, and then we'll save the best for last. We'll let Big Brother Leon name his next choice, and then and we'll just keep going until.
I think I'm losing, Caleb. I've got to be honest. If we put up a social media vote, I think it'd be 3-0 at the minute.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just keep going until we get to our final choice. and then that'll be it. But before that, I do want to encourage everybody to don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Hong Kong Beyond as well. If you guys, obviously, I just do martial arts movies, but if you guys want more than martial arts, if you guys just love movies in general, definitely check out Hong Kong Beyond. They'll make you want to see something that you never even really thought about seeing. So
yeah, you'll hate me afterwards.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. There's my shameless plug. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and all that good stuff.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into our cast list. Again, I'm going to name my choice for our first character, and then Leon will go, and we'll just keep going until we reach our final choice. But I will start off by saying this movie, Rapid Fire, had some absolutely powerhouse actors in it. It had some really great guys. Like, I mean, obviously we had Brandon Lee, who is a great lead in this, and but we also had the late great Powers Booth. We had Nick Mancuso. We had we had Raymond J. Barry. We had Z Ma. It was I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I was wrong, but yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, this cast was just excellent. I mean, Leon, what did you think about what you think about the original cast of this one?
Yeah, I got to admit, I was pretty blown away when I was looking at this one. It was like a particularly tough one to recast because you're thinking, my God, I want to get people that are going to bring some of the elements that these guys brought. And because they were such good actors and such strong performances, I felt like I had to think a bit more outside the box than I normally do. There might be one or two predictable ones. Like if there are, I apologize. But you've got to take from the well that's there as well. And but I tried to get a mix in and tried to take from Kaleb's example because he always impressed me with his choices. And yeah, I found this a tough one to do. But when I was done and I looked at my ensemble picture of my cast, I thought, I'm quite happy. I've been very excited to let Kaleb know what I've got. And I'm like, don't do it yet. Save it for the stream. Hashtag save it for the stream.
Yeah. Shout out to Jason. Save it for the stream. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Our first character was originally played by Al Leong, who obviously, as far as those 80s and 90s martial arts movies go, he was in a ton of them. He was in Big Trouble in Little China. He was in the exceptional Double Dragon. He was yeah, I mean, he was I don't remember if he was in Showdown in Tokyo or not, but I feel like he might have been. Yeah,
I know he's in Lethal Weapon and he was in Die Hard.
Yeah.
He just cropped up everywhere, didn't he? It's like when he turned up in Rapid Fire, it's like, oh, it's him.
Yeah, he's definitely just that instantly recognizable face.
Yeah.
And he was great in this movie too. He's very he's just a savage in this. He has hands down the best fight scene in the movie, obviously with Brandon. I love that whole sequence with him and Brandon towards the end. That's a really fun fight sequence. But yeah, character Min, originally played by Al Leong, he was great. Obviously most pretty much all these actors are irreplaceable. You know, there would never be another Al Leong, never another Powers Booth or another Brandon Lee, but you know, if we had to remake this one person came to mind, and that was Mad Dog himself, Yayan Ruhian from The Raid, and he was also in The Raid 2, of course, and he's in Morantau. He's yeah, I really couldn't think of anybody else. Like whenever I watched that fight scene between Brandon Lee and Al Leong in Rapid Fire, I don't know. I saw him and I instantly thought Yayan Ruhian. I think he's perfect for this one.
Oh man, that is a superb choice. You've really outdone yourself with that choice. He's got all those qualities. I mean, what impeccable taste. Yeah. I mean, who else can it be? God,
yeah,
that is good.
Yeah, I could not think of anybody else. He was that was probably the easiest casting choice. Like there were a couple here, especially our final two. Like those were tough, but this one was probably the easiest choice. I could not think of anybody else. But
Yeah.
yeah, for the role of Min, I got Yaya Ruhihan. So Leon,
Nice.
what do you have for this character?
Okay, so when I was thinking of this character, only one person came to mind. I just could not picture anybody else in there. And for anybody that's seen the raid, it is Yayan Ruhan. And this has got to be the first time this has happened.
Yeah, we
That's
finally did
happened
it. We
eventually.
got a crossover. Oh,
Wouldn't it
that's
be funny
perfect.
if we did the whole cast the same? I mean, that's never going to happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
wow, that's the first
I
time we've
don't.
had a cross.
Yeah, I don't think the odds of us like picking the exact same list from top to bottom are very high. But yeah, I'm glad we finally got a crossover. It took 4 episodes.
I know. I mean, we've had the same actor in different roles, but we've never
Yeah.
had the same actor in the same role. So, yeah, it was clear it had to be him. He has those same qualities, that slightly smaller stature guy who's got that
Hmm.
ferocity there, that intensity. Somebody that when you see him coming down those steps to, come against your hero, you're like, oh shit,
Oh
he's going to be in
shit.
for a rough ride.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Um, yeah, that was good. I also got to hand it to you. You had your poker face on. Like whenever I named the character, you did not give me any hint that oh man, I picked the same one.
Yeah. I felt like horror was seeping out of me. I was like, oh no.
All the blood was just leaving your face there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, obviously, right there, our first ever crossover, we picked the same actor. So yeah, for the role of Ben, we both got Yaya Ruihan. So yeah, moving on to our next character, a character of Runner, who was originally played
Mhm.
by the late great Tony Longo. The I have to admit the only other movie that I can instantly think of when it comes to Tony Longo, other than Rapid Fire, is Suburban Commando with Hulk
Hulk
Hogan. I don't know
Hogan.
if you,
Mm.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you've seen, yeah, sure you have seen that. So yeah,
Mm.
Tony Longo was one of the bounty hunters in that film.
Yeah.
But I really liked him in this. He's the big bodyguard. He's the big right hand man
Mm.
of one of our main villains, Antonio Serrano. But yeah, but for me, you mentioned like when Al Leon comes down the stairs when he fights Jake Lowe. Whenever he comes down the stairs, you're thinking, "Oh God, here we go!" He's about to have a rough time. And and yeah, we see Brunner, Tony Longo's character. We do see him, like get into scuffles with Jake like prior to this. But I gotta say, whenever Jake is trying to fight his way out of the restaurant, like during the
Mm.
big police raid and everything, whenever he's trying to fight his way out of there, and then we see Brunner kind of like rise up from behind the bar because previously Jake kicked him over the railing and he falls and then he just kind of disappears for a few minutes. But then he kind of reemerges like from the bar and like, oh, like this guy is
Mm.
indestructible. And
Yeah, like, oh dear.
yeah, definitely gives you the idea that oh, this guy's not going to go down easy. He was Tony Longo. He was obviously a big imposing guy. And so clearly, whenever you're recasting this character, you need a big imposing guy. And again, this was an easy choice for me as well. I was trying to think of bigger guys, but the one who came to mind first, actually not a seasoned actor. He has done a couple of movies, but they're really small stuff. What he is mainly known for is is combat sports, and I am talking about the former Glory heavyweight kickboxing champion Rico Verhoeven. He was the his Glory heavyweight champion for over a decade, and he recently vacated the heavyweight kickboxing title, and he's fixing to fight Alexander Usyk for the heavyweight championship in boxing. So yeah, he's
Oh, I
transitioned
know what
over
you
to
mean now.
boxing.
No, you said
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, cool.
yeah, yeah. So Rico Verhoeven, he has done he's done a couple of movies. He was in one of the Kickboxer remakes. I think it was Kickboxer Retaliation.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, he's a big guy. I believe he's oh man, 6 foot, got 6'5", 6'7", maybe. He's a very big man. And
Yeah.
yeah, and this was just kind of that thing. I was thinking again when Tony Longo like reemerges from behind the bar. I was saying, okay, who could I see doing that? And I just thought the gigantic Rico Verhoeven, and so and
Mm.
again he's a kickboxer, obviously very skilled. I mean, you got to be when you hold the heavyweight title for 10 years. And
Yeah.
as great as it was seeing Brandon Lee and Tony Longo go at it in the movie, the original movie, I would like to see someone who could throw down more because Tony Longo in that was more of just a guy who could just kind of take the hits until he grabbed a hold of you and just like tossed you somewhere. I
Yeah.
would like to see someone who can actually throw hands and feet more. But yeah,
Mm.
Rico Verhoeven was my choice for Brunner. I think that would be really fun, especially whenever I name my choice for Jake Lowe. I think it'd be cool to see him and Rico go at it. But yeah, for my choice, Rico Verhoeven. So excuse me, Leon.
Hmm.
What do you have for Brunner?
Oh, I do like that choice. I do like that. That's a nice choice. When I was looking at his character again, I was looking for a big guy who seemed quite imposing, and I thought, have I overstretched myself with this choice? I'm playing with my imaginary budget, but I thought, well, yeah, no, I thought this guy would be good. He's not as big as he used to be, but he's still a big guy. He's very good at the action. But the key thing for me that was pivotal was how he would pair up with my Serrano. And I'd already got my Serrano in my head. So I was trying to think of somebody that would go well with him. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to pick this guy. He's a big guy, a big actor, and he's very good at the action, very intimidating. And it's Dave Bautista.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I thought he can handle some action and he can be
Mhm.
imposing. And if he was to be happy playing the heavy role, it would add a level of intensity to the film. I mean, I watched him with that new film with Jason Momoa recently. When he gave his brother Jason Momoa a beatdown in that, I was like, oof, that's
Yeah,
rough. And that's what brought it to my head. That new film that they had on, was it Prime? I think it was on Prime. But yeah,
I
and I
think
thought,
so.
yeah. So yeah, I was quite happy with that choice. And when we get to Serrano, you have to let me know whether you think it's a good pairing or not.
Yeah, I do like that. That's a good choice. I mean, I could definitely see Batista as you may maybe if he had I know he like you said he has slimmed down quite a bit in the last few years, but
Mm,
I mean definitely when you think of like kind of like a younger, more like bigger built Batista, yeah, I could definitely see that. That's
yeah,
a good choice.
thank you.
Um, yeah, I just don't know which one I want more now. Like I thought like Rico Verhoeven was a great choice, and then at the same time it's like oh man, Batista would be a good one. I like that. Um, yeah, that's a good one. I like that though. So yeah, I got Rico Verhoeven as Brunner. Leon's got Dave Batista. So moving on to our next one, we've got the character of Kinman Tao, also known as Tommy, who was originally played by Zima. I love Zima. I'm a huge fan of his. He's a very, very good actor. I loved him in the Rush Hour films. He was
Mm,
also in the Netflix show Wu Assassins. He had a small role in that, and he was good in that movie too, or not movie show. Sorry, he was good in that show too. But I also like that we got to see him throw down a little bit here. We had to see him fight a
mm,
little bit in this. That's not something I don't believe that's something that Zima has done a lot. Hasn't done a lot of action. He's more of a dramatic actor. But here we got
yeah.
to see him. Get to see him do some stick fighting. We got to see him and Jake Lowe fight at the end, which was cool. Um, so here, I wanted someone again who could maybe make the role a little more physical. I mean,
Mm,
as great as Zima was, I did want someone who could like uh, probably do some more action. Again make the character more of a threat as far as ability goes. Um, and again, this was a pretty easy choice for me. Like I didn't think of anybody else initially. I thought of this guy. He is he's very well known for playing on the show Into the Badlands. He was also recently in Love Hurts with Ki Hui Kwan, and he was also
all
in
right.
New Police Story with Jackie Chan, and that is Daniel Wu. Um, I think, yeah, again, he's a very good actor, also a very capable martial artist. I think he
Mm,
also just has a look. I don't know. I saw him in his other works, and I thought, I could see him playing Kim and Tal, like wearing a nice suit, kind of
yeah.
playing like the very soft spoken drug lord, but can also uh, can also show a very violent side at the same time. Um, but yeah, for me, I would say Daniel Wu. I think his role in Love Hurts. I mean, not everybody liked Love Hurts. I thought it was fine, but I think that role is kind of what made me think, okay, I could see him playing the role because in Love Hurts, thoughts on the movie aside, he was very excuse me, he was very oh man, I don't know what the word is. He was what a nice guy. He's yes,
Mm.
the best way I could put it is that he was just not a pleasant person. And yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry guys,
That's
my
all right.
allergies have my allergies have been acting up with the crazy southern weather over here. But yeah, I just that role made me think like he could handle something like this. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
for Kim
you've.
and Tao, I've got Daniel Wu.
I like that. I'm just gonna. I think where's my? He did a film, and I think if I just have a quick look, was it? Because I really was impressed with that. I think it is that one. Yeah, Caught in Time, where he had a bit of a mullet,
I don't think I've
and
seen that one.
he played a villain in that. It's really good, 2020 film, and he was like really good as the villainous. So yeah, I really like that choice now because I know he's got the chops to pull off that villainous role. He's the right age for that sort of role now as well, even though he's obviously a lot more physically gifted than what Seymour was. No offense, Seymour, he's fantastic in that role, and I wouldn't have put anybody else at that time in that role. I also went with you with down a physical gifted sort of route, thinking I want somebody that's going to be a little bit more, well, a lot more intimidating to our main character because we know what he can do. And he often plays the hero, but he sometimes plays the villain. And I do like him as villain. Is Wu Jing.
Oh yeah, that's a that's a good one. God, you're God, you're catching me off guard with these. I like these.
Yeah, you're forcing me to think harder. See, this is
Yeah,
yeah. I've been digging
yeah,
deep in the well.
yeah. Once again, I don't know which one I want to see more. I don't know if I want to see Daniel Wu or Wu Jing. That's excellent.
I'm split on it as well. That's a fifth. We'll have to get everybody's vote for us because pick from both and give them us the finished one.
Mhm.
Yeah, because yeah, no, good choices both round there, and yeah, I'm liking this. I knew this would be an exciting one, and so far, killer choices.
Yeah, you know what they should do? They should make Kinman Tao. They should turn them in. They should turn them into twins, like fraternal twin brothers, and then cast both of them.
Yeah, oh, that'd be a headache for the lead, wouldn't it? Oh Jesus, imagine that.
Yeah.
Just pack your bags
Um.
and go home, mate. Oh.
No
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good one though. I do like that. Yeah, Daniel Wu or Wu Jing as Kinman Tao. Great choices. Up next, we have Carla Withers, who was played by the wonderful Kate Hodge, very lovely lady. I liked her in this role.
Hmm.
She's the intelligence officer, opposite of the late Powers Booth character. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so this was a tougher one. This was one of the ones I had a
Hmm.
hard time with. Which I don't know when it comes to like badass female characters, sometimes I have a hard time. Like there are ones that come to mind, but at the same time, there are just some that I don't know if I see them in that like playing that character. So sometimes like with these, it's hard for me to picture certain ones. But but I did have to think on this one, and I actually am pretty satisfied with this one. This wasn't like a situation where, this is I'm going to call back to when we did our Battle Creek Brawl video. I had a hard time picking Jackie's romantic partner from Battle Creek Brawl, and it was one of those situations where I had such a tough time where I thought to myself, just pick somebody, like just for the love of God, pick somebody. But here, I actually, I did not give up. I really did try to find someone that I think would work here, and I actually am satisfied with this choice. So for the role of Carla Withers, I picked Karen Gillan, who is a
Nice.
wonderful actress from Scotland. Everybody would probably know her
Yeah.
for her role as Nebula in all the Marvel movies that she's been in. She was also obviously in the Doctor Who show opposite
Yeah.
what was it? Matt Smith, was that his name?
Yep, Matt Smith,
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
She's a great actress, and she was in
Yeah,
the
she's great. She's
Jumanji
wonderful.
films.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
definitely. I actually haven't seen those, but I know she's in them. but
yeah.
yeah, yeah for the role of Carla, I went Kara Gillan. I think that's a really good choice. Again, it was just one of those ones where I thought really hard about it, and it was one of those things where I ultimately did see her in this movie, in this role rather. Obviously, with her, with all of her all of her portrayals as in the Marvel movies and everything. She can do action. She can also do like very like also put on a very powerful performance and everything. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah actually could or sorry, I was actually really satisfied with that one. I'm glad I didn't give up and just pick somebody for the sake of picking someone there.
Yeah, no, that's a well thought out choice. Actually, I really like that. She's got that spunkiness to her character. That
Mm,
that attitude she can like put in. Because obviously Kate Hodge gave us plenty of attitude. Opposite Jake, and yeah, really do like that. I went really left field with mine. I was trying to think of somebody like a little bit younger to match my lead character, who's a bit younger as well. And I almost feel like it's cheating because I'm not that familiar with the actress, but what I've seen her in, I really liked her in, and she's a little bit older than she was when I saw her in what I saw her in, which was Ozark, and she is called Sophia Hublitz, and she was the
mm,
daughter in Ozark, and she really had a bit of a fierce attitude, which I really liked, and she has a look to her that I think suits the role. You know, there's although she's not like a dead ringer for Kate Hodge, she brings the same sort of qualities to me that she had, and I thought, you know what, I think she could pull off that cop sidekick role, that slightly angry girl role, because she does angry very good in Ozark, and
yeah.
sometimes I like to see somebody come from like a TV background where they've had tons and tons of acting and they've not been in a film yet or many films, and then throw them into the deep end, and it can, you know, produce surprising results. You can think, oh my god, who knew that person had that in them? And I think she would rise to the challenge. So, Sophia Hublitz, you're my choice for Carla Withers. Hmm.
Yeah, I have to admit, I did not know who that was. I had to go look her up because I haven't seen I haven't seen Ozark, and I don't believe I've heard her name mentioned before.
Hmm.
But I do like that. She looks like she definitely looks like she can handle a role like that. Oh, that's a good choice. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carla Withers, we got Karen Gillan and Sophia Hublitz. Up next, we have the role of Frank Stewart, who is the crooked FBI agent originally played by Raymond J. Barry. Um, I do have to admit, I really liked Raymond J. Barry in this movie. He was
Hmm.
he was a fun character. I like I like when Jake and Howard Booth's character Mace Ryan. I love when they go to his house to confront him. And he opens the door and Jake's just like, "Hi, Frank," and then he just proceeds to just beat the brakes off of him, which is great because he, obviously there's a little bit of comedy right there because right before he answered the door, Mace Ryan's telling Jake Lowe, "Hey, I don't want you throwing hands in here. We're here to talk to this guy." And he's just like, "Sure, whatever you say." And then it just goes and does the complete opposite. It was so great. And his and Raymond J. Barry's, delivery, like right before his character got killed off, was also great. Just, nice doing business with you, Tony. Nice doing business with you. He just like throwing
Yeah.
that signal out, but they don't hear him. I don't know. It was it was just great. Like he did a really good job, conveying that panic. He's thinking, "Oh God, I'm gonna die. Somebody get me out of this." And and unfortunately, it didn't work out too well for him. But yeah, I did love Raymond J. Barry in this role. He did a very good job. And again, I had a hard time with this character. No, nobody immediately came to mind, but whenever I thought of this particular actor, I thought, okay, I like this choice. I like this actor. He's talented, and I could see I actually can see him. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I can see him like playing this kind of role. And I picked the Incredible Hulk himself, Mark Ruffalo.
Ooh, nice,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
I like Mark
great
Ruffalo.
actor.
He is a very good actor. He's great as the Hulk. He was great in other movies like Foxcatcher,
Mm.
13 Going on 30. That's a guilty pleasure for me. I really like 13 Going on 30.
I no criticism here. For the longest time, Jennifer Gardner.
Oh yes.
Shaz, you're not watching this, are you? No, I really like Jennifer Garner. Ever since
Yeah.
like Alias, I love that show.
Hmm.
I think she's amazing. And then when she was in The Kingdom with was it Jamie Foxx? Yeah, she was great in
Mm.
that. I'm not mentioning Electra because I was a bit like,
Yeah, yeah,
but 13 going on 30 when she does the Thriller dance. I mean, come on, guys, yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a great film.
Yeah.
Right, so you want to know my Frank Stewart? Yeah,
Yes, I absolutely do. What do you got?
this is possibly my favorite pick out of my whole cast because I was thinking some gentleman with that sort of age, that sort of stature, an actor that's got acting ability, but also can deal with comedy because there's a tiny bit of comedy timing required for
Yeah.
that role. And I didn't know that this actor had those comedy chops until very, very recently. And I thought, oh my God, he's awesome at comedy. And it's Liam Neeson.
That's a good one. Yes. God, yeah, you keep catching me with these. Damn, I like that too.
I was so chuffed with that because I just thought
Yeah.
it'd be funny as well because he's such a tough guy in films, and for him to be
Mhm.
getting like smacked and everything. Yeah, I thought, oh, I would love that so much. A confession to make. Shaz popped that one in my head, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm taking that. I'm sorry, I'm taking that, hun." And she's like, "Well, it's okay. I'm not streaming it." So, uh,
Yeah, I like that too. It might be kind of jarring though to see Liam Neeson playing a character who's going to get killed off. I mean,
oh
he's
yeah,
been
yeah,
in that role before. Obviously Star Wars,
yeah.
but um, but at the same time, he's obviously he in this day and age he has been known for playing that badass action guy who can survive anything and
Mm,
so I mean,
yeah.
it would be kind of jarring to see him in a role here that actually that doesn't that is not as physical. Again,
I know.
it's more about his more about his delivery and his like emotional performances and stuff like that. But yeah, he absolutely can be funny as far as like doing like kind of like a dry sense of humor goes.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
I do like that.
Have you seen Naked Gun yet? Have you seen Naked Gun with him?
No, not yet.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, I heard he was really good in that one. I do want to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I am a big fan of the original Naked Gun movie. So whenever I get a chance, I do plan on checking it out.
Oh, yeah, you'll love it. It's really, really good. And I thought it would have that effect, like Deep Blue Sea, when Samuel L. Jackson's giving his speech and Shark comes and gets him. Like, oh my God, that can't happen to him. Sorry
Yeah.
to all those that haven't seen Deep Blue Sea and are watching this now, ruined. But you had your chance.
A terrible
Yeah,
monster.
that's a good one. But yeah, once again, I don't know which one I want to see more, Mark Ruffalo or Liam Neeson as Frank Stewart. But yeah, let's just pull the twins effect again. We'll do that. We'll have both of them
We can
play
just ask the shareholders, when they're giving us the budget.
it. Yeah, definitely. Um, anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's five down, and we got three to go. We are in our top three actors for our rapid fire recasting. Up next, we have the character of Antonio Serrano, who's played by the powerhouse that is Nick Mancuso. Again, I loved him as Antonio Serrano. He did a great job just playing that unhinged mobster.
Mm.
Like he does. Like, he's so Nick Mancuso's performance is just so out there. Like yeah, biting his own hand. or whenever he
Mm.
kills, whenever he kills the which character was it, Carl Chang? Whenever he kills him, the murder that Jake Lowe witnesses, he tries to like throw the knife at him, and you see him just like lose his mind, like, oh, I'm gonna shoot this guy. But he was just great. And whenever Jake Lowe, like whenever he finally like puts everybody in the restaurant down, and then it's just him and Serrano left standing. Serrano turns into a wimp right there, Then he's just like, okay, look, the money I gave Stuart, you can have that, And Jake says that's not good enough. That's 25 grand. What the hell's the matter with you? And then like Jake approached him, he's like, okay, all right. and but yeah, so it's great, kind of see him like turn into a wimp right there, because like now he doesn't have anybody to help him. It's just them two. And and obviously Jake just kicked everybody's ass, so now he's afraid. And and also of course, like whenever he gets into prison, a fucking kid broke my fucking nose. And I love that line too. I love that line too. I thought of a couple of guys for this one. Once again, it was one of those things where, it's like, okay, there's a lot of great Italian-American actors out there who have played a lot of different mobster roles. But this one came to mind, and I really love that I went with this choice. And there was, the role that made me pick this guy was, of course, another mobster role. It was a very particular role that made me go, okay, I like this guy. I don't know if I could see him kind of playing, kind of like going from being like crazy and unhinged to just being like a really scared person. But he has, this guy has really great dramatic and comedy abilities. He's very funny. Like whenever you put him in like the right comedy movie, he is hilarious. But but then he'll do like other roles that are really serious and very intimidating. So yeah, for my pick as Antonio Serrano, I went with John Turturro.
Right.
Obviously,
okay,
the role that made me pick him was his role as Carmine Falcone in the Batman. He is amazing in that movie. But we obviously know that he can be funny too, because he's done good comedy roles like Mr. Deeds and Anger Management, both with Adam Sandler, and he was great in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He's one of my favorite portrayals of his in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. So he can be very funny. But then you watch him as Carmine Falcone in the Batman, you're like, oh dude, this guy is scary. Like you don't know what this guy is gonna do. He obviously very unhinged in that movie as well. He can be, but he's also a very commanding presence. He's clearly the kind of guy, like in that movie, he's that kind of guy nobody wants to mess with. Nobody crosses this guy. And it was just that role that made me go, I think he'd be perfect as Antonio Serrano.
You broke me now with that. That was a great seasoned actor choice. I didn't see that one coming, brother. That was a really good choice. I now don't feel confident with my choice. The only thing I've got is that I think he goes good alongside Dave Bautista. But my Antonio Serrano, I was thinking a bit more that he'd be a bit more capable, a bit less of a wimp. But then we're missing that aspect of the film. So I guess I failed there. I don't really see him being able to do that side where he's cowering and pulling it off convincingly. But if I'm just have him as a straight villain and the head of like a mobster sort of crowd family, I have picked Frank Grillo. And I
like Frank. I mean, I could see that. I mean, Frank's very good. I mean, he's he's also a very, very physical actor. He's had some good action roles as well. I mean, I do like that choice, and I can see him and Batista. I can kind of see. I can see them two standing side by side. So that's definitely not a bad choice.
Oh, thank you. You're being generous here. But I think you kind of cinched it with yours. So I was well impressed with that. Very good choice.
Yeah, and I do like. I mean, I will say I do like how you did think about how is it going to look with both Serrano and Brunner's characters, being together, like
Yeah.
how well are they going to play off of each other? And I do like how you took that into account. I'll be honest, I didn't really do that. I wasn't thinking about how those two would play off of each other. I was just picking who I felt I could see playing those characters, not really how they interact with each other. But I mean, I do like how you took that into account, and I can see those two together.
Yeah, I hope so. I think so. I hope the viewers can see that too. Throw me a frigging bone here.
Yeah.
Feel like Dr. Evil, but yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I'm still quite happy with the overall cast list. I think it's probably my best one I've done. But yeah, I was just a bit blown away with your choice there. It's like, wow, that was digging deep in the well, brother. That was a good choice.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we've got John Turturro and Frank Grillo as Antonio Serrano for that one. That's both good choices for me. We're whittling it down here. We're now down to our final two characters. But obviously, up next we got one of our funnest characters. We got the late great Powers Booth, who portrayed Lieutenant Mace Ryan in the original Rapid Fire. I loved Powers Booth in this role. He was such a great actor. He's dearly missed as well. He was his passing was very unfortunate. But he did have some incredible roles, and this is one of my favorites of his. His banter is just excellent. Like he's very good in this. I like he has a lot of sarcastic moments, but he's also very stern, and he's he does a very good job like playing that cop, who does you do what I say when I say it, that sort of thing. And so I thought I tried to think of this was the tough one. I went through like three different actors. Like at first I had one guy. I was like, okay, that's him. That's who I'm going to go with. But then I thought more about it. I was like, well, no, I don't see if I could see him. I don't know if I could see him like kind of having the same delivery as he does, because Powers Booth had some great line deliveries in this, especially like all the countless times that he goes, son of a bitch. And, Ryan, Jake never came out. I know, God damn it. What do you want me to do about it? And he just had do your job, damn it. He was, his delivery was just excellent in like so many of those lines. And so I was trying to think of someone, who can kind of match that, match those deliveries, who can I think of that can, kind of, be that, really stern guy, and I thought of one guy, but I thought, no, he's too sarcastic. Like the guy I originally thought of, I feel like his delivery would kind of come across as not serious. Like he's not, like you hear him say it and you're like, I don't think he really means that. And so, I passed on my first choice. My second choice, I was set on it until I'll admit this was a last minute change for me. I was set on this guy, and I thought, okay, the delivery is there. I could see this guy delivering those lines in a similar way. But then at the last minute, I was like, ooh, the age gap is way too big, because the guy I originally went with is in his 70s, and I'll tell you off the air who I originally had right there. But this guy originally had in mind, this actor is in his 70s. And when that dawned on me, I was like, oh man, I mean, Powers Booth was like 43, 44, whenever he did Rapid Fire. So I feel
was that all he was?
Yeah. I had to look it up, but yeah, he was actually like in his early 40s when he did Rapid Fire. And so the actor I had, who's in his 70s, like, no offense to this guy, but I thought I don't know if I could see him in this role considering his age. So I had to pass on that. I had to pass on that actor as well. So yeah, this was a last minute change for me, but at the same time, I'm still satisfied with this one. I was satisfied with my previous choice, but I'm still like equally satisfied right here. So for the role of Mace Ryan, I went with Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can see you're happy with that one, dude.
Yeah. Obviously, when you see Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, he has moments like that. Especially like when you watch Logan, he gets angry. Like he's very stern. He's very what's the word? Very pessimistic. Like he's got anger issues, obviously, that sort of thing. So I was trying to think of somebody who I feel like can deliver the lines in a similar manner that Powers Booth did. Yeah, where actors should make each role their own, but at the same time, I mean, Powers Booth just did such a great job that I want to see someone that I feel can kind of be of that same caliber, and yeah, I mean, Hugh Jackman, again, a last minute choice. I apologize to Hugh Jackman if he's ever sees this. I love Hugh. I'm a huge fan of him. He's like, for me, he's like the definitive like superhero actor. Like he is Wolverine. A lot of different actors have played different superheroes, like more times than once. But
Mhm.
for me, like you can't replace him. He is Wolverine. He always will be. But yeah, it was that role. It was Wolverine that made me go, I could see him as this
Yeah.
character.
His dedication to what he does as well. It's kind of
Hmm.
unparalleled, isn't it? Absolutely love that choice. That is a good choice. He can pull that off without a doubt. And yeah, really good choice, Hugh Jackman. Sorry, Hugh, I didn't think of it. But yeah, great choice. Okay,
Yeah,
my turn.
yeah.
So
What you got?
again, like you said, I think the pillar of this film is the role of Mace Ryan because he
Mm,
really brought a strength to the film Rapid Fire. He was
hmm.
a father figure for Jake Lowe. He was also the grumpy cop, a tough character, and I wanted somebody that had that sort of grizzled look, could do grumpy really well, and I thought back to a film that I'd seen, and this guy played a cop in a different era. He's played all sorts of roles. He's also been in Marvel, and it is Josh Brolin.
Oh, I like that. Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought he
Cable,
could do it.
Thanos. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thanos, and it was actually his role in Gangster Squad that
Yeah.
tipped it for me. He was super tough cop in that, and I thought,
Mm,
yeah, you know what? I thought he's going to go alongside my Jake Lowe, and so yeah, I was pretty happy with him as well. And I thought I just watched a film with him the other day. I can't think what it was, but I do love Josh Brolin as an actor. Right from when he was in the Goonies, I went to see you in the cinema then, sir, and yeah. Um, so yeah, those two stacked up. Yeah, I've got trouble picking from those two because both such
mm.
strong actors. Yeah, this has been a damn good recasting, Caleb. And
Yeah.
the two cherries for the cake are coming up, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Hugh Jackman and Josh Brolin as Mace Ryan for this one. Again, I really like both of those choices. We've been picking a lot of superhero actors, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I guess maybe I've been picking more of them, but yeah, obviously with all those out of the way, it's time to get down to the like Leon said, the cherry on top, the coup de grace. That is
Mm.
Jake Lowe, who was played by the late great Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was not just he was not just Bruce Lee's son. He was not just another action like another action star from the late '80s, early '90s. He was honestly, in my opinion, um, really could have been the best out of the bunch.
Mm.
He had that charisma. He had the acting ability. I mean, I mean, obviously, when you see like, especially like emotional scenes for him in this movie, and
Mm.
again in The Crow, again, I don't want to touch too much. Like, I don't want to touch on The Crow too much because again, I feel like that movie's really overshadowed this. But I'm just saying The Crow is just an example of his acting ability. Um,
Yeah.
he was I mean Brandon was just I mean he was great. He's irreplaceable here, honestly. I mean there won't be another Brandon Lee, but we can think of someone who can who can tackle a role like this. Again, I had another last minute change right here. I had a different actor in mind for this, but then excuse me, again at the last minute, I don't know what it was, but something reminded me of this actor, the guy that I ended up picking. Um, something reminded me of something just reminded me of this guy, and then I thought to myself, oh my god, he's perfect. I like who I picked before, but this guy, I don't know. It's just it's right there. I can see it. So for the role of Jake Lowe, I picked Kung Lao himself, Max Wong. He obviously he spoiler was killed off as Kung Lao in the first Mortal Kombat movie, but he is coming back from Mortal Kombat 2. And I mean, his performance as Kung Lao was good, and people, he's also like that's also one of the performances that everybody was talking about. Everybody liked seeing him as Kung Lao. He had one of the coolest fatalities in the first movie. Like sawing Natara in half with his hat. It's a shame he got killed off, but at the same time, at least we're going to see him back. And and I don't know, just again, something reminded me of Max Wong, and then I thought to myself, oh my god, Max Wong is perfect because I really like him. He was a member of Jackie Chan's stunt team. He's done stunts or small roles on countless movies. He worked with Jackie on Police Story Lockdown, also on Police Story 2013. He also helped with The Foreigner and Chinese Zodiac, also known as CZ12. He was also, I think he was in, or he at least helped out with a Hidden Strike, the Netflix movie that Jackie Chan and John Cena did. And again, this was another one of those things where I thought, I look at Max Wong and I think this guy has got what it takes. He could be, again, going back to the Furious. I think that movie is going to bring a resurgence of martial arts action movies, and that could make somebody like that could bring a lot of different scripts to the tables of the studios, and that could bring a lot of opportunities for people like Max Wong. I think this guy's got what it takes. I think he could be like one of the big stars. Obviously he can't replace someone like Brandon Lee or Jackie Chan, but he has worked with Jackie Chan and he's got a similar style to his. And Brandon Lee borrowed a few elements from Jackie Chan's films. Leon mentioned that at the beginning here. And so I think, what better choice than to pick somebody who has trained with Jackie and, has learned so much from him. But yeah, I just thought he was a perfect choice. But yeah, from Jake Lowe, I've got Max Wong.
Nice. Oh, what a good choice. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. My eye did go over him, and the only reason I rejected him was because I thought my girl, who I'd already picked, Sophie Hublitz, she's so much younger than him. So I thought I need somebody closer. I wanted somebody younger because I thought Brandon was quite young when he did Rapid Fire. And it gave me a headache, a stressful headache, because I was just looking at actors that I liked, one after the other. Too old. I thought, where's all the young actors? And I thought, don't be stupid. Stop just looking things up and just think about what you've watched recently. And then it came to me. And again, somebody else worked with Jackie Chan. Somebody that was in, I think, my most recent film review. So he was in Shadow's Edge with Jackie Chan, and he's one of the big roles in Blades of the Guardians. And it's a young actor. He's called Sisha, and he's not been in too much yet because he's obviously quite young, quite new. But he's got a handsome face, very much like Brandon. Very handsome to look at. He's got charisma. He's shown that he's got chops there because he's played two completely different roles, and I've really bought into both roles. I thought, well, he's largely kind of unknown, like Brandon was when he was stepping into this. Other than people that watch the genre and a bit more well versed in films. And I thought, so to bring somebody that's a little less known and that sort of age, I thought it could be exciting if they could develop him. And, obviously he'd be up against it because trying to fight Wu Jing, Yaya Ruhan, and all the others that we've put in our films. But I thought, well, being as the underdog but skilled, I think makes a nice rounded cast for my pick for my crew. And if people haven't seen him yet, I recommend watch Shadow's Edge. He's absolutely fantastic in that. And if you get a chance to see Blade Guardian, go and see that. And then let us know what you think. I think very strong choices there for lead. Your guys obviously got more martial experience and more capability to pull off that. I'm kind of relying on the choreographers and trainers and all that, which it can do you a world of good. I mean, look at Keanu Reeves and John Wick and whatnot, and The Matrix. So yeah, I was really chuffed. I think we slayed this one, Caleb. I told you guys out there we should be directing. Now somebody get us some funding, and we'll make you a decent martial art film.
Yeah, I have to admit I did not know who Sisha was, but I did just look him up, and I could see it. I could definitely see him in a role like that too. And I think I again have to admit I haven't seen Blades of the Guardians or Shadow's Edge yet. Those films have not made their way over to the States just yet. Hopefully they will soon, and then I'll be able
Fingers
to
crossed.
I'll be able to check those out because those are two movies that I'm very very eager to see. But yeah, I do think a role like that would be good for him as well. You know, there's a I mean, there's a lot of actors that that a role like that could be very good for.
Yeah,
But
it's so
but yeah, I
hard to
mean,
unearth them at a young age. It's so hard.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, something like the Furious could do something like that. That can help. That could definitely help a lot of these actors. But yeah, you were right. This was this was a lot of fun. We did we did have some really interesting choices. You definitely blew my mind with a couple of them.
Yeah, you too, dude. I mean, yeah, there's some really good choices in there. You always end up kicking yourself, don't you? You think, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But it was good. Why did we leave this so long? I mean, it feels like a long time. It has been a long time, hasn't it?
It has been a while since we did a third one. I don't know. I guess other things just kind of kept getting in the way, or we just we thought of something else beforehand, and we just decided to do that instead. And
but you do have the next one lined up as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Should I say what it is now, or should we wait?
Dealer's choice.
We actually I thought of like our next one pretty quickly, and interestingly enough, it is a movie that neither of us have seen before. So whenever we get around to it, it may turn into kind of a small review of the original movie itself, as well as who we would pick in in a remake of it. But yeah, for the next one, I really think we should do Force 5, which originally starred Joe Louis, Benny Urquidez,
Richard Norton.
Richard Norton. Yeah, sorry, Richard Norton.
Was Keith Vitale in it? I think he might have been in it as well. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't remember, but I'd have to. We'd have to look into that one. But yeah, there were some excellent martial artists in that movie as well. I think what was his name? I think Bong Soo Han, who was the villain of that movie. He was great in that as well.
Sonny Barnes and you're right.
Yeah, that's right, Sonny Barnes. Yeah,
was he in Kentucky Fried Movie?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he played. He was in that Fistful Again segment. I can't remember that character's name. Was it Dr. Klon or something like that?
I knew I recognized him. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. There's wow.
There's that movie. I again haven't seen that movie. I know Leon said he hasn't seen it as well, but that movie did have some really talented martial artists, so I think that would be an interesting one. So for our next installment, whenever we're able to get around to it, I think we should do Force 5.
Shall we ask people to send us in suggestions as well? Because that'd be kind of cool. It might help us out going forward.
Yeah, definitely. You can, anybody who has suggestions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. And of course, if anybody has casting suggestions for what we just did, like if you have somebody different that you'd like to see in the role of Jake Lowe or Mace Ryan or something like that, definitely let us know that too. We like to see what other people come up with.
Oh yeah, we do love that. We love the comments. We love the interaction. We love to see what everybody else comes up with, and we'll gladly listen. I mean, even if you want to say like, "Oh, Leon, that was a stupid choice," say it. It's no harm done. We just want feedback. And we enjoy it. We enjoy whatever comes, and we will interact, and it will all be in good fun. So don't be shy. Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
So, yeah, without any further ado, that is it. Those are our casting choices for a remake of Rapid Fire. I think, God, yeah, I really want to see something like that now. Like with all the different actors we named off, I really would want to see something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a wrap, Liam. You can go that way now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for us. That's it for today. Thank you to everybody who has clicked on to this and checked it out. Again, don't forget to subscribe to Hong Kong and Beyond, and I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel as well. Keep those subscriptions coming and everything like that. And share this video, leave some comments and some likes and all that. Let us know what you thought of this, and again, give us some of your own casting choices if you have any. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one. We'll figure out when we're gonna do it, but pretty soon. Our next installment, recasting classics. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a Force 5.
Excellent. And don't forget to check out Kaleb's shorts because they're the best. Just
Yeah,
saying, they're the best.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, and don't forget to check out my Twitch channel. I did recently just wrap up playing the Sleeping Dogs game on Twitch. Up next, I'm gonna be playing a Sifu. So that's actually gonna be or as
Ooh.
of this recording, I mean that we won't this video isn't going to be going up at the time of this recording. It'll be going up a little bit later, but as this recording, I'll be I'll be starting on playing a Sifu on a Twitch. So looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for that one. Thanks to everybody for watching, and we will see you next time on Recasting the Classics.
Catch you guys later and have a great day.